Merry meet and welcome to the daily reading for all signs for today, the 8th of December 2024. This is Ariel and today I am reading with this Trionfi della Luna. I'm going to purify with this beautiful Eau de Cologne by Guerlain, and I've put links in the video description of this video on YouTube should you desire to purchase these products. Let's see what's in the cards for everybody today. Starting off with Judgment, followed by the Seven of Wands, and then we have the Knight of Swords. Okay, so the Seven of Wands is saying that there's a type of change, a positive change in many of your work. So job, if you're looking for a new job, it looks pretty promising. But if it's not a job, it can be, you need to determine what that means for yourself. It could be any kind of work. It can be creative work, career, job, but it's a very positive change. It's an upgrade that we usually call that. And the Judgment card represents the blessings that are available to you, which most people are asleep to. The blessings are here now. And to receive those blessings, you have to wake up to them. It's as if they're not there when you're unconscious of the fact that you're being blessed. And you are being blessed, and that blessing is constant. Now, if you do wake up to your blessings, then you wake up to the understanding of what this improvement is or this upgrade is. But then you also have to recognize that the ego mind, when you wake up to your blessings, wants to have its say as well. And usually what the ego likes to do is shut down anything good. And the way it's saying that it's kind of manifesting is allowing yourself to get pulled into other people's dramas, allowing yourself to get pulled into other people's bad moods, other people's negativity, and things like that. We always say the knights are helpers. They're also fighters, but they a good amount of time in readings, the knights are assistants and help, and swords are conflict. And this card represents allowing ourselves to be helped into conflict, and it's the kind of help we don't want. So it's important to recognize that it's not about them, that this reading is not referring to any person outside of you. It's referring to our own tendency to allow ourselves to get sucked into stuff. So just being aware of that usually is enough to stop it. Because that's, like I said, it's the ego's response to the good things happening to you. And so you can, and a lot of us live our lives on the brink of wonderful things, and then we fall into the ego patterns, and they don't really come into full fruition, or if they do, then we sabotage them. And it's telling you that if you're forewarned about the tendency of doing that, you don't have to. You don't have to do that. Just recognize it as it comes up so that you don't try to sabotage yourself. Six of Swords, nice. Tower card, good. And the Fool, I love. Okay, so the Tower card on top of the Seven says that many times these upgrades happen in the midst of destruction. It's like you got to tear down old structures in order to rebuild. So very frequently we misinterpret the rebuilding because we are focused on the destruction. And when something is destroyed, when a structure of any kind is destroyed today, look on it as something to celebrate rather than something to mourn, because what it's doing is it's revealing all of this new growth. It's revealing all of this turnaround. You can't, put new wine in old bottles. And you can't build a new resort on top of a cruddy resort. You have to destroy the cruddy resort first, down to the foundation, and then you build over again. And that's what's happening today, is that in the wake of any kind of destruction, there is new growth happening, and it's so good. And those are your blessings. So the tendency to want to look at those things with suspicion, and also allowing ourselves to be distracted from the good by getting letting other people rile us up in whatever way. Because this doesn't only mean getting pulled into other people's drama. It can also mean just getting upset by other people's behavior, or just upset because other people exist sometimes. Sometimes just the sight of certain people is enough to go "Rah!" to us. And you want to watch that, because that's the ego going overtime for you to try to distract you from the good that's happening. Now, the Six of Swords is talking about how no matter what's going on with any of that, that the solar light, which is the mystical energy that emanates off of the sixth sphere of the tree of life, Tiphareth it's called in Hebrew, is a representation of the divine design of your life. And it has the ability, if we allow it to reorder things and reorganize things so that they conform to that divine design. And that's a wonderful response when you notice yourself getting, pulled off of your center and possibly moving out of all of this wonderful new growth and into those conflicts, is to call upon that solar light and allow it to start to reorder things for us. And with this Fool card, it's saying you want to do it innocently. You want to just do it indiscriminately. Don't say, well, I don't, I want to do it with this, but not with that. Just let the solar light go everywhere. And if you don't know how to work with the solar light, just use one of my solar light meditations to learn. You can learn how to do it in about, I think it's like 2 or 3 minutes as all of those videos last. And then you can just do it on your own, because the process is so simple. It's not this big complicated thing. You'll learn how to do it by listening once or twice. So go to YouTube and just search Gotoga Solar Light and learn how to use that solar light. We also have a new lecture coming out today on the solar light, and that's going to be at 11 a.m. Pacific time on our main YouTube channel, not this one, but our main YouTube channel, Ariel Gotoga. So if you're around, you may want to join us for that or listen to the restream later. But this Fool card is innocence, and just being innocent and being in a place of innocence. And I don't know, what to do, but I know that the solar light knows what to do, so I'm going to allow it to do it for me, and I'm just going to follow direction. Because everybody's got intuition. Everybody's got intuition, and the way that you grow your relationship with your intuition is by following it, by listening to it, by giving it precedence, by giving it right of way. And so when you're, coming up against either these internal or external ego problems where you're hitting conflict rather than success, just ask that inner guide, what do I do? And just the asking is enough. Even if you don't seem to get a response right there, the fact that you asked puts you into this Fool energy where you're receptive. You're receptive to being guided. And just like the Fool here, well, it doesn't really show it. This is very stylized. He's got a little helper here, but usually it's a little animal or dog right up behind him, either pushing him in a certain way or her in a certain way, or pulling back in a certain way, so that the Fool is never in danger. The Fool just does what it's in front of it to do, and if it gets on the wrong track, his little guide pulls him back or pushes him this way. And that's what you want to be. You want to be that innocent child of the universe that allows yourself to be guided. It's okay to feel like you're the child. You don't always have to feel like you're the expert. You don't always have to feel like you're the grown-up in the room. And in fact, when you allow yourself to be not a grown-up on the invisible planes, when you allow yourself to be the Fool on the invisible planes, you end up being the most mature person in the room on the physical plane, because wisdom is what is guiding you. But if you think you know what to do and you're making up your mind on the invisible plane, oftentimes you come off as being rather childish in the physical world. So allowing yourself to not make judgments about the distractions that are possibly going on in your life right now, and allow them to reveal the new growth that's there for you, that's actually a blessing for you. It's not a curse, it's a blessing. And allow that solar light to turn around everything and reorder everything so it conforms to the divine design, because the divine design means happiness. Everything was designed perfectly. Everything in the universe was designed perfectly, and you were designed perfectly too. And a lot of people think that that means that their body was designed perfectly, and it's not really that. I mean, part of it. I mean, your body does have a lot of miraculous things that it can do. It's amazing. It's an amazing thing. We're not, belittling that or minimizing your body, but the soul is the actual force. Because when your soul retreats from the body dies. The body doesn't have any volition of its own, but the soul is eternal, and the soul is an extension, an expression of the infinite light. And that's what the solar light does for you, is it allows you to live a soul-driven life, and a soul-driven life can heal the body. It can heal circumstances. It can heal relationships. It can do everything that needs to be done in order for you to get back into that divine design where you're happy, because that's the will of the universe, is for you to be happy. And your happiness is just as important to the universe as anything else that the universe has to deal with. So infinite intelligence is just as interested in your happiness as it is in creating galaxies. So you're that important. And remember that, especially when you're coming up into these areas where you're, possibly getting involved in conflicts where you don't want to be. Just instead call upon your innocence, ask for guidance, ask for clarity, work with that solar light, and instead receive your blessings and allow those blessings to start to grow forth as all kinds of beautiful, and literally beautiful, because the 7 is Venus, and that's beauty, beautiful success for you. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I really appreciate you. We'll see everybody on Wednesday for another daily reading, because we are off for our weekend, which is Monday and Tuesday. Until then, blessed be.